In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to add fractions with unlike denominators using visualization. So you're going to notice that we have 1/2 plus 1/3 up here on the board. So let's visualize what 1/2 looks like. So 1/2 would be us taking a single unit, such as this one rectangle, dividing it in half and shading only half of that side. Now, let's think about what visualizing 1/3 would look like. I'm going to make my units approximately the same because I want them to be representatives of 1. But now I'm going to divvy up my second unit into thirds to represent 1/3. Now you'll notice that I have a visualization of 1/2 and I have a visualization of 1/3. Now, in order to be able to add fractions, I have to have a common denominator. In other words, I need to make sure that my two units are cut up into the same number of sections. So you may notice that I have 3 sections in my bottom one here and 2 sections in the top. Ideally, I want them to have the same number of sections. So a good way to think about this is to come up with a common denominator. Well, a common denominator of 2 and 3, or 1/2 and 2/3, would be to create sections of 1/6. So I'm going to divide my 1/2 into thirds, and you can think about carrying this through the whole model. So now I'm saying that each one of these sections represents 1/6 of a unit. I'm going to do the exact same thing with my 1/3. This time I'm going to divvy this up into halves. Each one of my thirds into halves, which means that I'm going to still have 1/6 of a unit. What I'm basically doing by divvying up both of my units of 1/2 and my 1/3 is I'm creating a common denominator. My common denominator in this case is 1/6. You'll notice each one of my units has 6 sections. So I know that I have a 6 in the denominator, 6 sections. Now the question is how many pieces are shaded? A good way to do this is to create an equivalent fraction that represents the shaded pieces. So I have 1, 2, 3 copies of 1/6. So I have 3/6. And I have 1, 2 copies of 1/6, representative of 1/3. So I can say that I have 3/6 plus 2/6, which means that I would have a total of 5/6. I'm creating equivalent fractions from 1/2 and 1/3 in order to be able to come up with my answer, or my sum of these two fractions. Hopefully you found this video helpful for visualizing fractions and adding fractions with unlike denominators.